welcome to my channel, and today I will be explaining you the summary of Bodily Harm. Bodily Harm is a novel by Margaret Atwood and it was first published in 1981. So the novel is about a lifestyle journalist, Rennie Wilford, who is in her 30s, and so a little bit giving you a little plot introduction. So the novel's protagonist, Rennie Wilford, is a travel reporter or a lifestyle journalist. So after surviving breast cancer, she travels to the fictional Caribbean island San Antonio to carry out research for an article. The island, however, is on the brink of revolution. Rennie tries to stay away from politics but is drawn into events through her romance with Paul, a key player in the uprising, and end up in a surviving struggle. So what are the themes and morals that are being used in this novel? So it's about the violence that human beings inflict on one another and the isolation in an uncaring world are pervasive themes in Margaret Atwood novel or work. So Bodily Harm, her fifth novel, is in many respects her bleakest, though it holds out some hope in the form of compassion to be shared by those who are victims of bodily harm in any form. The novel suggests that every person falls into this category. All are victims. There is no exemption, no escape for anyone. So Rennie Wilford, the central character, is a type who will be familiar to readers of Atwood's earlier novels. She is a university-educated Canadian woman of Anglo-Saxon heritage who is mildly rebellious against the stuffy respectability of her past, but far from free of its influences. She is a lifestyle journalist, writing about fast food restaurants, drenching in jewelry, how to pick up men in laundromats. In short, about the surfaces of life. So she left the college in early 1970s expecting to dedicate herself to causes, to honest exploration of serious issues, but she soon found herself drifting toward external concern more with what protesters were wearing and eating than with the issue of their protest. She has successfully avoided making deep commitments to anything or anyone, even Jake, the man with whom she lives. Significantly, she too is a person connected chiefly to the surfaces of life. He makes his living as a planner of product packaging. So Rennie's comfortable, safe, impenetrable world of external cracks when she discovers that she has breast cancer. Although her surgeon, Daniel Loma, assures that her mastectomy is successful, she reacts by withdrawing from Jake and seeing herself as both mutilated and incapable of feeling. Then, a few weeks after her operation, she returns to her apartment to find two policemen there, investigating the presence of an unknown intruder, a faceless invader who has made himself a cup of Ovaltine in her kitchen and left a coil of white rope lying on her bed. Unnerved by this inexplicable assault from outside, as well as by the equally inexplicable attack from her own body, she decides to escape. She flies to Saint Antoine, a fictitious Caribbean island where she believes she will, as a tourist, be exempt from the involvement in the problem that plagues her at home. She learns that no one is exempt from anything. On the plane to St. Antonio, Rennie meets a native of the island, Dr. Minot, who is a presidential candidate campaigning against the current dictator Elise, and a young man who is known as the Prince of Peace. Later, she became acquainted with Laura, a rather brassy American expatriate, and Paul, a powerful drug smuggler. Though these three characters, Rennie becomes involved in island's politics and gradually sucked into the whirlpool of brutality. As she watches, horror increases. A deaf mute is beaten insensible. The decent patriot Dr. Mino is assassinated. Dozens of citizens are tortured and mutilated in a brief political revolt. Yet Rainey continues to try to detach herself from what is happening, to see herself as a tourist, one free to leave and to ignore the suffering of others. Then she and Laura are imprisoned by the government under suspicion. She is told. Even under these circumstances, she refuses to see reality. When Rennie realizes that Laura is prostituting herself in order to buy small luxuries from the prison guards, she scorns her for cheapening herself. She withholds her sympathy for her companion until Laura finally rebels against their captors and is battered into unconsciousness, perhaps death, by the guards. Only then Rennie realizes that she may never be free. She cannot escape bodily harm, whether it comes through her own cancerous cell or from the faceless men outside. The novel ends when Rennie is on a flight back to Canada, and the novel ends up here. So I hope you understood the novel, and it was an easy summary, very short and very brief summary. And please do like and subscribe to my channel. Until then, take care.